Happy Friday, everyone. Here we are again, streaming live through the miracle of Al Gore's World Wide Web to bring you more Coalfield football. It's a week before Thanksgiving, so most of us have turkey on the brain, but when you're a high school football program, you have semifinals on your mind. Black Friday is always the date in Tennessee where you only have 4 teams remaining per classification, with the winner getting the opportunity to play for a championship, that is. The Yellow Jackets have possibly their most complete football team in several years, and they are battle-tested, having faced the stiff competition of 4A Carter and Gordonsville, who is also vying for a Black Friday date tonight. Because of the year, not because of anything Coalfield did, the home team tonight is Cloudland, and the Highlanders are no slouch. The two teams have common opponents thanks to the playoffs. In round 1, Cloudland dispatched Greenback by 18 points. Coalfield beat them 49-0. In round 2, Cloudland beat Oakdale by 44. Coalfield didn't play them because of COVID. In round 1, Coalfield beat North Green 58-0. Cloudland beat them by 30. You can't use that alone to pick a winner on this one, though, but it is worth noting. What else is worth noting? The weather. It's below freezing, and we've got some altitude. How do I know that? Well, the context clues, of course. We're in a place called Roan Mountain and a school called Cloudland with the mascot Highlanders. Get it? But I also have Google, which tells me that this school right here is about 1,000 feet higher above sea level. How big of a deal is that? Probably not much. The max amount of oxygen a body can intake drops by about 1.9% per 1,000 feet of elevation, which can leave you feeling fatigued faster. A study has shown that time to exhaustion with constant speed on a treadmill decreases about around 4.5%. Cloudland is used to it. Coalfield will be in its coldest environment so far and at a higher elevation, and the Yellow Jackets should be worried, right? Well, like Corso said before me, not so fast, my friend. Coalfield is no stranger to this environment. In fact, between 2014 and 2018, Coalfield had to play at Cloudland every single year in the playoffs, and they won every single one of those games. In fact, the Orange and Black is 13-4 all-time in this series and haven't lost since 2001. But that's a story of yesteryear, and I promise you, the Highlanders, under first-year head coach Zach Benfield, expect to win this game tonight. It's going to be a good one, and we have all the action for you tonight on your OEB Law Game of the Week, day or night, 24/7. Someone will be there to answer and give you a free consultation and get to work on your case immediately. Call 865-546-1111 or visit the website full of helpful information, racketoacheck.com. That's OEB Law. I'm Aaron Harvey, and I'm fortunate once again to be joined by my colleague and buddy, the coach, James Hoot Gibson. Road trips and playoffs go hand in hand, not only for the teams, but the broadcast crews as well, huh?
Yeah, travel time is just part of a long day of road games. You know, these athletes are in high school students first, and lengthy road trips come after a full day of classes. So a student athlete can spend as much or more time on the round trip going to and from a game than they do in class for the whole day.
We've seen Coalfield enough to know what this team is capable of. The defense has been phenomenal since giving up 34 to Midway on October 1st. Since then, there have been 2 shutouts, and no team has scored more than 7 points in 5 games. They'll need it tonight because Cloudland has possibly the best run game the Jackets have seen this season, led by Seth Birchfield, who has 36 touchdowns this season to go along with over 2,100 yards rushing. The Highlanders have the strength to win games in the trenches, which is important the deeper you go into the playoffs.
Yeah, he's been the workhorse all year long, and that's who we expect to carry the load for the Highlanders tonight because we expect them to try to establish the running game very early on in this ballgame.
Birchfield, by the way, is a Mr. Football semifinalist. We're running out of games and teams to talk about as the playoff field is shrunk down to 32, or from 32, down to only 8 teams. But we'll tell you everything we can anyway and get you up to date on the local area when we get back to your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Football is back, and OEB Law is excited for a season. Perfect plays and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check. football is...
At Patriot Home Care, our personal approach to patients is what sets us apart.
I truly appreciate the kindness through the years.
Thank you so much for the care you provided for my husband. Your kindness and compassion will always be appreciated.
We can assist with all ages. Our dedicated staff has the experience to take care of your needs.
The entire home care team has been amazing, and I've definitely felt supported throughout.
Let our family take care of your family, from full-time to just a few hours. See how Patriot Home Care can help you. At Patriot
OEB Law is excited to be a part of this year's football season. School spirit is at an all-time high. OEB Law is proud to give back and support our community. Come cheer on these great teams with us. And remember, if you've been injured or need legal help, OEB Law will be there for you. So visit wreckintoacheck.com or give us a call, 865-546-1111, and let OEB Law turn your wreck into a check.
Welcome back to your OEB Law Game of the Week, playoff style. It is the quarterfinals. It is Coalfield at Cloudland. We are at Cloudland as well, and I can tell you all the way up the mountain, my ears were popping. So we have gone higher in the air. I don't think we're in the clouds per se, but we are in the, I guess, a land of clouds. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, we're showing around 34 degrees for kickoff, so it's good and chilly.
Yeah, so, yeah. But it's probably 3 degrees colder here than it is back in Morgan County where Coalfield is. So not that much of a difference, but it is a little bit colder here than it would be if we were at Coalfield this week. You know, earlier this week, Joe Gaddis announced his resignation as head coach of the Oak Ridge Wildcats. Gaddis had a tremendous coaching career, which began at Tullahoma High in 1983. He took the reins of Oak Ridge in 1988 and led the program to a state championship in 91. Of course, last season he led the school back to the championship, but took home the silver. It was a disappointing year for that storied program, and perhaps Gaddis felt like it was time to let go. But in his 2 stints with the school in the Secret City, his record is 196-58. This season was the very first losing season for Gaddis at Oak Ridge, and only the 3rd losing season in his 33 years of coaching, as his overall record is 286-101. I think the man deserves a retirement and a farewell that celebrates his successful career.
Yeah, you know, you're talking about a coach who just made a trip to the state championship at Oak Ridge and who had made several appearances. You know, this shakeup will have a huge impact on East Tennessee football because there's going to be a lot of coaches who will be interested in this job. Oak Ridge was one of the premier jobs in the state of Tennessee, and it can be that way again under the right leadership.
Yeah, Gaddis joined the locker room program with BBB TV, Channel 12, earlier this week and said that he remembered when he came into Oak Ridge, had a successful season and a good team that first year, and it helped the community really embrace him and rally around him and the kids. And he thinks they've got a lot of talent coming back next year, and so he wanted to give that next coach that great team coming back so that the community could rally around the next guy like they did him.
That Oak Ridge job, I mean, it is so close that this year it was just a couple little things that kept them from really advancing. It was a cultural thing because it was not a talent thing. Look for Oak Ridge to bounce back in a major way next year if they make the right hire.
And I'd say that's a very wanted job.
That is one of the most wanted jobs in all of Tennessee, especially back in the 70s and 80s and even the early 90s.
Yeah, so, you know, I don't want to count chickens before they hatch, but looking at the games on tap tonight, I think we can go ahead and write some winners in with a Sharpie. Greenville should beat Elizabethton. Alcoa should beat Pigeon Forge, and Maryville should beat Farragut. Agree?
I agree. But with that Elizabethan game, I want to keep a close eye on. As you know just as well as anybody, you never know what's going to happen when the Elizabethan Cyclones meet the mighty Greenville. So that's going to be one we want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that some years it's Greenville that is much better than Elizabethton, and then if it's not that, it's Elizabethton that seems to be much better than Greenville. So it would be interesting. They met earlier in the season. Greenville blew them out. It would be interesting
big time
if Elizabethton could come back and give them a much better game this time. One of the one game most of East Tennessee will be paying attention to is Central at West. The Rebels actually blew the Bobcats out earlier in the season, but Central has a knack for coming alive in the postseason. Back in 2019, losses in the regular season against Gibbs and South Doyle by 11 points and 28 points respectively were avenged on the road on the way to a state title. That season, West was a favorite to win a championship, but Central shut them out 10-0 in the semifinals. Last season, they got revenge on Halls by taking a 4-point loss in the season and matching it with a 14-point victory in the second round of the playoffs. The Bobcats have outscored their first two opponents 87-14 in the playoffs so far, and they'll be ready for West tonight.
Yeah, what an old-school rivalry matchup to have this deep in the playoffs. You know, that will be one to keep an eye on. It's just Knoxville high school football is at its top. When you have West and Central like that deep, I mean, hey, it's pretty special time in East Tennessee for high school football.
Oneida's bounced back in a huge way. The Indians finished 4-6 last season, losing their final 6 games. This season didn't start any better, as Williamsburg, Kentucky put it on them in week 1 to the tune of 50-21. But a 7-3 finish was good enough for second in that region, and South Green wasn't good enough at home as a Region 1 champion to defeat Jimmy May's team. I didn't give them much of a shot last week, but you did. In fact, you picked them to win that game. Tonight, they're at home against Hampton. Can they get to the semifinals?
You know, May has done a great job of shocking that community back into it and building the trust, because there was a lot of rumbles up there early on in the season. Get rid of this guy. Who did we hire? Well, you hired a daggone good football coach who's sitting at 7-3. You know, I think they have every chance of upsetting the Bulldogs of Hampton, but they have to play their absolute best football game of the season tonight to be able to upset them.
Now, I do want to mention something. Last week I said that in the odd-numbered years that it's the odd-numbered region that hosts once you get to the quarterfinals. So if you got 2 number 1 seeds playing, like you do tonight, Cloudland and Coalfield, Cloudland is the Region 1 team, they're hosting. That is correct, but also not necessarily true, as this Oneida and Hampton game is showing us, because Hampton is Region 1 and Oneida is Region 2. So what it actually is on the odd-numbered years, it's whoever is on the top in the bracket. So if you're higher seeded, you get the home game. If you are the same seed as who you're playing, it's whoever is in the top of the bracket. So it's interesting. It's just the way the brackets work out. So Hampton is on the bottom side of the bracket. So they had to go on the road to Oneida, even though both of those are 2 seeds. And tonight you have Cloudland and Coalfield playing. Cloudland in Region 1 gets to host because they are on the top of that bracket. So that is how that works. So now I hope everybody has learned something, because I didn't really know exactly how that worked until I had to figure it out this week.
You know, sometimes I'm not sure they know either. So
it can get complicated. It really can. So we are at Cloudland tonight. Coalfield is in the house. We've got an 11-1 Cloudland team, a 10-2 Coalfield team, both number 1 seeds, both regular season region champions. Should be a great game coming up, and we will preview that. But we've also got a couple more games to talk about, too, when we get back. You are tuned in to the OEB Law Game of the Week. We'd like to say a big thank you to Big Orange Home with Mike Smith, and that's actually Big Orange Home Inspections. And you can get a free follow-up inspections with him. He's fully licensed and insured. Give him a call at 865-789-0672. Go to bigorangeinspections.com for more information. Tonight's game also brought to you by MBM Heating and Air, locally owned and operated by Karen and Reagan Williams, proud supporters of Morgan County Schools. They offer 100% financing, and while supplies last, they have scratch and dent units that can save you big money, and all units still have a full 10-year factory warranty. Plus, they offer preventative maintenance that can keep your heat and air unit running at its peak performance. Call MBM Heating and Air for all your HVAC needs at 865-771-2620. Big thank you to R&R Lumber Company of Coalfield for helping us with this broadcast as well. Call 865-435-1286 for your lumber needs. They have great mulch for sale by the truckload as well, located at 147 R&R Sawmill Road off Fairview Road. Patriot Home Care, quality care close to home. Also a sponsor of us tonight. Call 865-234-7007. Offices in Oak Ridge, Harriman, and Wartburg. Trust Patriot Home Care, a locally owned and operated home health care agency. They are committed to providing compassionate, quality-focused care customized around your specific needs while coordinating and communicating with family and physicians. Visit patriothomecare.com for more information about their services. Special thanks also to Sexton Automotive of Oak Ridge for our transportation needs tonight. Got to ride up in a beautiful Dodge van. Visit Sexton Automotive for your top quality pre-owned vehicles, rentals, service, body shop, and more. Sexton Automotive of Oak Ridge, 799 Oak Ridge Turnpike in Oak Ridge. Give a call to 865-272-3223. And got to get a big shout out to John Boy's Barbecue as well. Sent us with a ton of food. And if you want barbecue that is smoked low and slow the way barbecue should be, then John Boy's Barbecue is your place. They're the home of the Sweet 29 sauce, family owned and operated. Also featured on Discovery Channel's Moonshiner Smoke Ring program. Call John Boy today at 423-539-0704 for all of your barbecue. They will stop taking orders tomorrow. And so if you want a smoked turkey, ham, or pork loins, you better hurry and give them a call. Big shout out to a proud supporter of Coalfield football, alumnus of the Yellow Jackets himself, and former Tennessee volunteer football letterman. That is your VFL realtor, Stephen Hensley. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, let Stephen help you. Give him a call, 865-742-1672, or go ahead and visit his website at vflrealtor.com.
Crooked Fork Farms would like to let everybody know they're offering new brush control services. If you see anything that you have interest in on that screen, please give a phone call to 865-206-7560 or visit crookedforkfarms.com. They are also offering $5.50 pound beef. They don't have limited appointments. Please give a call, 865-206-7560. They also have transportation services. If you need it hauled, give them a call. 865-206-7560, crookedforkfarms.com.
And, of course, individuals we would like to thank: Judy and Charles Slack, Scott Jackson, Jim Rivers, David Rivers, Joe and Judy Jones, Tom Kilby Sr., Alan West, and Carl Reeves. All of these people donated, and that allows us to bring you this football game because we have to pay a TSSAA streaming fee. And so they helped with that, so thank you so much for all of the support to everyone who donated to us. So, we got to see Loudon in Week 11. That's a very talented football team. The Redskins have a home game tonight, but it's against the undefeated Giles County. They laid waste to Kingston last week, 45-0. Do you see that happening tonight?
Yeah, this matchup on paper looks like it will be one of the better matchups all across the state of Tennessee. Loudon will have to play excellent defensive back play to keep this close. Keep eye on this score.
Yeah, I think so too. It'll be a good one. Powell has Ray County at home tonight. If you look at common opponents, these two teams aren't far apart, but Powell probably has the edge. We both picked the Panthers for tonight, but that could be a great game.
Yeah, I expect a great game down there with Ray County. Really challenging Powell deep in the second half. Powell's just got too many athletes.
Including Walter Nolan.
The athlete.
Yeah.
Tennessee or Texas A&M commitment.
Yeah. So
Big
Tennessee, I think, still in on that one, but he is committed to Jimbo Fisher in that program, so – whoever comes out on top tonight in our game will get a home game next week, but it won't be an easy home game, as it'll either be South Pitt or Gordonsville. Gordonsville 11-1 on the season and has already claimed a victory over Coalfield at Coalfield, 21-0. South Pitt's two losses have come to Dade County, Georgia, and no big deal, just Oakland, which has won 27 straight games and 81 of their last 85. This is the fourth straight season that the teams have met in the playoffs, and South Pitt has won all of them. by a combined score of 104-21. It's going to be different tonight, though, and this one should come down to the wire.
Yeah, I actually picked Gordonsville in this game. This game is a battle of potential state champions, and whoever wins, I say probably is going to win a state championship.
Yeah, speaking of that, we made predictions. You said that you picked Gordonsville in that. So if we go back and look at those predictions, we started in the second round. So we didn't do first-round predictions, but, I was 37-11, and you were 36-12. So humble brag, we know the subject material.
Yeah, when you're around it as much as we are, we can kind of get a pretty good idea. And that's a hard prediction early in the playoffs to figure out kind of who's going to win, make those upsets. But I think so far tonight we're going to have a big one here with the likes of Coalfield.
Look at you got the semifinals up there right now. We're going to look at the quarterfinals. That's okay. Let's look at the semifinals. If you look at what we have, though, you can kind of tell what's going to happen, we think. See, you've got Gordonsville playing Coalfield and beating Coalfield in the semifinals. Mm-hmm. And I've got South Pitt beating Coalfield. So we also have Peabody over McKenzie, and we've got Peabody winning that one.
Any one of those games there on that screen could go any way. I'm just kind of thinking it'll go kind of the way that we suggested, though.
In Class 2A with the quarterfinals, we've got South Green over Rockwood. I've got South Green over Rockwood. You've got Hampton over Oneida, so I missed both of those. But you've got a chance to get that right tonight. Meigs County over Marion County. Meigs County also got beat last week, which is nuts to me.
Yep.
Decatur County over Lewis. Both of us have that. And Westview over Huntington. So. And then with 2A semifinals, we've got Meigs County over South Green. We got Meigs County winning the championship.
Yeah.
That ain't going to happen.
Nope.
So
that
we
was
missed
a
out
shock
on that one.
of 2A.
Going to 3A in quarterfinals, we've got Alcoa over Pigeon Forge, Giles County over Loudon. I've got East Nashville over White House. You picked White House, or you picked Waverly to beat East Nashville. East Nashville won that game, so we'll see. Dyersburg over Covington. We both have that one. And in the semifinals, I've got Alcoa over Giles County, so do you. And I've got East Nashville over Dyersburg. You've got Dyersburg over White House, but then it doesn't matter because we both have Alcoa winning that. In Class 4A, we both have Greenville over Elizabethton. I've got Red Bank over Upperman. You've got Upperman over Macon County. Tullahoma over Hardin County. You've got Pearl Cone over Tullahoma. And Haywood over South Gibson. We both have that one. Pearl Cone actually getting the win last week. Greenville over Red Bank. Greenville over Upperman. Haywood over Tullahoma. Pearl Cone over Haywood. And then we both have Greenville champs. In 5A, we have West over Central tonight. I've got Powell over Ray County, and you've got Powell over Carnes. Page over Columbia. You've got Page over Green Hill. Henry County over Springfield, and you've got Memphis Central over Henry County. And for the semifinals, we both have Powell over West, and I've got Page over Henry County, and you've got Memphis Central over Page, and Powell ultimately winning championship. So we picked the same 5A champ, too. And then in 6A, finally, I've got Maryville over Farragut. I've got Oakland over Riverdale, Hendersonville over Beach, and Collierville over Summit. So all of ours were the same, except you picked Bradley Central to beat Farragut last week. And Colliersville got beat. They were previously undefeated before last week. In the semifinals, I've got Oakland over Maryville. You've got Maryville over Oakland. And then we had Collierville over Hendersonville. Both of us did. Collierville's no longer in it. But it doesn't matter. I've got Oakland as the 6A champ, and you've got Maryville as the 6A champ. And that was the only classification we disagreed on for state champions.
Wow.
So we're getting closer to kickoff here.
Atmosphere is amazing as Cloudland takes the field.
You know, This year has been emotional and inspiring for the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. It was 1 week after a semifinal loss to South Pittsburgh last year when head coach Keith Henry passed away due to complications of COVID-19. The man chosen to take over and continue what Henry had already started was Benson Napier, a former player of Henry's. On this team, Henry's son, Colton Big Daddy Henry, is showing out as a sophomore, leading his team in tackles with the 86 and carrying his father's love of the game every week. As inspiring as it has already been, the whole community of Coalfield is behind this team, ready to cheer it on for the entirety of its run. It can't end now, can it? Not against Cloudland, a team it has beaten 9 times in a row. But this Cloudland team is not the same as those Cloudland teams. This one has a Mr. Football semifinalist who ran for over 200 yards last week against Oakdale. Coalfield can't go into this game thinking the success of those before them matters.
Yeah, no, as this team for Cloudland is legit and a top contender out of East Tennessee, Coalfield cannot overlook this tough bunch from Roan Mountain.
As we tune into our national anthem. National anthem tonight, formed by some Cloudland High School band students. Coalfield's line on both sides of the ball will be tested. When Coalfield's on defense, they'll have to find a way to stop that Mr. Football candidate, Seth Birchfield, and shed blocks to do it. We're getting ready to have a moment of silence and a prayer, so I'm going to stop talking again.
Yeah, but as you were saying, this game will be won in the trenches here tonight. I guarantee you that. The running game is going to have an utmost importance for this squad up here on Roan Mountain, so look for that to have a major impact on this game.
Yeah, and another name that you're going to hear tonight for Cloudland is Maverick Simmerly. He's got 26 sacks this season, so Coalfield will have to find a way to block him as well. So let's see the results of the coin toss. It appears as if Cloudland has won the coin toss they will choose to receive, so we'll get to see Mr. Birchfield early on in this one. If Coalfield plays like they played against Midway last week, a lot of teams are going to struggle to beat them. Does making a 3-hour road trip hurt their chances of playing that well, or is it business as usual?
You know, Coalfield really played, their defensive backfield played outstanding last week, so I'm anxious to see what the plan is of attack for the Coalfield defense versus this run-heavy offense.
The winner tonight gets a home game next week with a trip to Cookeville on the line. What are the keys in this one?
Coalfield has got to win the turnover battle and has got to play great run-stop defense. Cloudland, they have got to limit the big explosive plays of Coalfield and force several turnovers.
As Keith Henry would say, if you would have asked him what the keys to tonight's game are, he would have said, take care of the football and play mistake-free. So Coalfield runs out. Cloudland getting set to receive the kickoff. Back deep to receive for the Highlanders, Seth Birchfield.
Mr.
Also,
Football
Caleb
finalist. Say he could do some pretty special things off kickoff return here, so I would not kick to him if I was a Coalfield kicker.
Hayden Hicks is the place kicker for this Coalfield Yellow Jacket team. I don't see Mr. Hicks on the field, though.
And Cloudland electing to wear the dirty jerseys. I'm assuming the washers broke.
Is it a superstitious
Yeah,
thing?
it could be. Who knows? But these are some dirty jerseys.
There's Hayden Hicks. Okay. Now he's shown that he can kick it to the end zone, possibly for a touchback, but also it's cold, and that might affect the travel of the football.
It should, but we are definitely at a higher elevation. See if it carries the ball anymore.
Now I'll say there's a big open spot right in middle of this field. And I wonder if Coalfield might try to kick it high and exploit that a little bit. I think that's a mistake that Cloudland is making. We'll see. 9
guys up front.
And there's the kick. It does go deep, and it does go to Birchfield. Takes it at the 4. Brings it up the right side, gets to the 20, to the 25, and he's upended around the 30-yard line, and that's where Cloudland will take over. So a good return by Mr. Birchfield.
Good defense by the Coalfield kickoff team. Rallied downfield. Made a good tackle there against a Mr. Football finalist.
First and 10. As we get our first look at this Cloudland offense.
Very tight formation.
Going out of a wildcat, looks like. Yep, Birchfield takes the direct snap around the left side. Got a lot of running room. To the 40, makes the man miss. To the 50, still on his feet, all the way down to the 46-yard line of the Yellow Jackets. Huge pickup, 24 yards on his first carry.
Great job by the Cloudland offensive lineman of getting upfield. The offensive running backs there really did a good job of lead blocking there for the Mr. Football finalists on the direct snap. Just got a little bit outside there. 4 running backs.
This time they've got Caleb Sluter lined up as running back, or as a quarterback, and he breaks free to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Cloudland's going to score a touchdown, but there's a flag in the backfield.
Not so fast.
And that would indicate probably an illegal formation.
You had movement in the backfield out of the running back position.
Illegal shift.
Yep.
That's what they call. That's a 5-yard penalty, and so it'll be 1st and 15. But I hope that even though there was a penalty on that play, even though there was an illegal shift, I hope everyone can see that this Cloudland team, they're pumped up and they're going to be ready to go.
Yeah, emotions are flying high up here in Cloudland. People are really fired up and excited about this ball game. The entire community of Cloudland's out here supporting their team.
Ball's backed all the way back up to midfield. And back in that Wildcat formation is Birchfield. Birchfield looks for a hole, goes up the middle, breaks a tackle, and is finally brought down on the play by Mullins, but not before he gets to the 44-yard line. Pickup of 6 will bring up 2nd and 9. Levi Mullins got the stop there, but Birchfield was able to break a tackle from Mr. Landon Lau. It's Sluter back in the game, and he's got a quarterback keeper, and he's driven down, and meeting him on the play is Mr. Colton Henry. Big Daddy dropping him for little to no gain on the play. We'll bring up 3rd and about 9.
Great offensive line play so far for the Cloudland team. Really getting a good push and doing a really good job of pulling their guards and getting a hat on a hat.
They're going to give Sluter 1 yard, which puts the ball at the 43-yard line. 3rd and 8. 10-15 left to go in this first quarter. Mr. Birchfield set up in that Wildcat formation. And Coalfield jumps off sides. I know you've got a comment to make about that.
Yeah, you just can't have it. You know, your defensive lineman, the ball's right in front of their face, so they got to do better. They got to be more disciplined. Keep an eye on that ball and do not move. Do not move until the ball moves. It's kind of early game jitters, but you just can't have those type mistakes.
That 3rd and 8 becomes a 3rd and 3. Ball at the 38-yard line. Snap goes directly to Sluter. Sluter looking for a hole, can't find it. Stood up on the play and dropped at the 36-yard line. And that looks to be just shy of the first down. He needed to make the 35. Well, where they placed it, he's going to be shy by just inches.
Fourth and short, they're definitely going to go for it here. I'd say it's safe to say that the quarterback is going to keep the ball here.
I would say so. And it's Mr. Birchfield back there. He runs straight up the middle. Will have the first down, but not much more than that. He gets down to the 34-yard line, gets about a yard and enough for that first down. So fresh set of downs for Cloudland. They've moved this ball from their own 30 all the way down to the Coalfield 34-yard line so far on this drive.
Yeah, there's definitely one thing about it, as Cloudland is not scared of the C that's on the helmet of those Coalfield football players, like some of the teams are back where they come from. So this bunch is fired up, and they're ready to play some football.
Caleb Sluter again, lined up in that backfield. Gets it, runs left, and drugged down on the play. Great tackle by Kanan Bowling. Just grabbed onto the jersey and pulled him down with one hand.
Refused to give up, and made a really good tackle there. What, about a 4-yard loss? Big play for the Coalfield Yellow Jackets defense.
Yeah, about a loss of 3 on the play. We'll bring up 2nd and 13. First negative yardage play so far for Cloudland. Now Seth Birchfield back there to receive this snap. And he fakes left, goes right, has a lot of open field to the 25, to the 20, makes a man miss. He's getting into the end zone. Touchdown, Cloudland.
Big response for the Cloudland High School football team. And who else, Aaron?
Seth Birchfield.
Mr. Football finalist.
That was a 37-yard run for the score. Cloudland not doing anything really fancy. They're loading up the backfield.
They ran 4 plays.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and on that play, they lined up all their blockers to the left, and so Coalfield's entire defense went to the left. Well, guess what? Mr. Birchfield went to the right.
They know Coalfield's playing man-to-man, and that drags your defensive backs down the field, and if they're not holding their own there, they can pick up a lot of yardage running the football.
With a 2-point conversion, it's Caleb Sluter, and all of a sudden, with 7:50 left to go in the first quarter, Cloudland leads over Coalfield by a score of 8-0.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
And back at your OEB Law Game of the Week, Cloudland getting ready to kick it off to Coalfield. It's Dylan McClellan. That's a short kick taken at about the 24. And getting up to close to the 40 is Eli Roberts. And Coalfield is going to have good field position to start this drive, but an 8-point deficit.
Caden Clark in for the tackle for the Cloudland Highlanders. Cloudland kickoff specialist that time was Dylan McClellan, 6'1", 320-pound kicker.
So a formation we're familiar with, seeing Coalfield, man in motion, that's Roberts. Roberts does get the handoff around the left side and runs into trouble. He's brought down, stopped with all of his momentum at the 36-yard line, and he'll lose 3 yards, and Coalfield will have a 2nd and 13.
Nothing doing that time for the Coalfield offense. Cloudland Highlander defense did a really good job of recognizing the outside run. Did a good job adjusting to it.
Cole Hines in at quarterback. Landon Lau in the backfield with him. Also Kanan Brock. Hines rolls to his right, looks downfield, has a man, and that pass is caught. Wow.
What a catch by number 42, Eli Roberts. Getting his hands underneath the football, kept his elbows tight, which is what prevented the football from hitting the ground. Awesome catch.
I didn't think he had any chance for that whatsoever. Gained just enough for a first down to the Coalfield 49. So the Yellow Jackets move the chains.
Great individual effort that time by Eli Roberts.
Same formation, Lau and Brock in the backfield. Hines sends Mullins in motion. Handoff, a little crossbuck play, goes to Lau, and Lau gets across midfield, but not much more there. Pickup of maybe a yard will bring up 2nd and 9.
The big defensive tackle for Cloudland was able to break through the offensive line. Dylan McClellan, the 6'1", 320-pound sophomore. He's a handful up front.
Yellow Jackets, no surprise, coming out in that same formation. And Hines is going to run a quarterback keeper, gets across midfield, gets up to the 40, still on his feet, and is finally brought down at about the 38-yard line. That'll be enough for another first down. I tell you what, I think Coalfield got away with a false start.
Little bit there, a little bit of movement, but they didn't call it, so it's all right. But Coalfield did a really good job. It was a really good play call from the press box there. They seen that they were sending the outside pressure to try to slow down that outside run and the zone reads, and they really did a good job of exposing that, running the football right where they replaced those linebackers.
Coalfield's offensive coordinator, Jason Wilson, he's seen a game or two. He's been around this program for a long time.
Man coverage for the Cloudland Highlanders.
Hines throws it out of the backfield to Brock. Brock to the 40, to the 30, still on his feet, breaks it free up the sideline, and he's going to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Coalfield!
Kane and Bolin in for the long run. Great play call. They had a mismatch. They had a running back against an inside linebacker. Paid off big for the Coalfield Yellow Jackets.
5:02 left to go in the first quarter. We might have a shootout.
Hey, guys, we might. I was not expecting that.
Me neither.
Quick response by the Yellow Jackets.
Luke Treese on to attempt the extra point for Coalfield, and this could make a difference because Coalfield is going to attempt extra points, and Cloudland is going to go for 2. Snap, set, kick on the way. That is right down the middle. Good. Coalfield pulls within a point of Cloudland. It's 8-7 with 5:02 left to go in the first quarter of your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Personal approach to patients is what sets us apart.
I truly appreciate the kindness through the years.
Thank you so much for the care you provided for my husband. Your
Hello.
kindness and compassion will always be appreciated.
We can assist with all ages. Our dedicated staff has the experience to take care of your needs.
The entire home care team has been amazing, and I've definitely felt supported throughout.
Let our family take care of your family. From full-time to just a few hours. See how Patriot Home Care can help you.
Welcome back to your OEB Law Game of the Week. Coalfield scores a touchdown. Hayden Hicks on to kick this one. And again, you've got this middle of the field here. I'm wondering if Coalfield might try to take advantage of that in a moment. This time Hicks kicks it deep, and it's going to be taken. Actually, it's not going to be taken because it goes into the end zone. That is an automatic touchback. So Cloudland will start this time at the 20. That's a weapon to have. When you have a kid who can kick it all the way to the end zone, that's a weapon.
Well, what's the difference in field position from the last time Cleveland had the ball? So obviously you do not kick to the Mr. Football finalists. They kick it in the end zone. It helps them out about 20 yards field position. Big difference.
So Cloudland had a lot of success just rotating Seth Birchfield and Caleb Sluter in and out, running them back and forth. This time it's Birchfield taking the direct snap, trying to find some running room, and he's wrapped up quickly and dropped. Met first on the play by Isaiah Sheldon.
Big number 60, Bryson Ridge, in on the play as well for the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. Great job defensively. And Mr. Football Finalist was a little bit slow to get up there for Cloudland as it comes off to the sideline to get checked out.
And it wasn't that initial hit. Sheldon wrapped him up and stood him up, but then 3 other Yellow Jackets got there and got a hit on him. So this time it's Sluter into the game. Looks, tries to find a hole. He's going to run to the right and find some more running room. And he's finally brought down. First met on the play by Brock Jones and then cleaned up. He gets all the way up to the 24-yard line, so picks up about 5 on the play. And that will bring up a 3rd and 6.
Bryson Ridge absolutely laid the wood there on that hit. I tell you, if you've got rewind, click it. Watch that hit, number 60 for Coalfield. Yeah, we don't have a full setup with us here, as Brad was doing everything he could to get this picture to you. We know there's a large following watching us from home right now. Didn't want to make the 3-hour trip.
So now as they rotate back and forth this time. Oh, we actually had a quarterback in the game that pitched it out to Mr. Football semifinalists, and he's wrapped up at the 24-yard line, and that'll bring up 4th and 6.
Great job by the Coalfield defensive backs rallying to the football. See, immediately recognize the play and get downhill. Limit the big play.
So Caleb Sluter enters the game in punt formation this time. And Coalfield, I'm not sure Coalfield's going to send anybody deep. They might be afraid that Cloudland will fake this. And they do not fake it. That is a high end-over-ender that lands and takes a Coalfield bounce to the 46-yard line. So Coalfield is in Cloudland territory to start this possession.
Great field position this time for the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. See what their offensive coordinator, Mr. Wilson, comes up with on this drive.
They're actually going to say it rolled dead at the 45, so that's where Coalfield will take over.
Right now, Coalfield has a little bit of a mismatch in the wide receiver department with their defensive backs. Cloudland is really playing man coverage, which is slowing down that run game. So if Coalfield can start having a little separation, you might see some really success in the passing game.
Yeah, you've got Mullins over here, or not Mullins, but Roberts one-on-one. But the handoff goes to Lau. Lau just following blockers,
Good
finding
run.
room, driving his legs all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Rumbling and stumbling, picking up some tough yardage. That's what you got to have.
Pickup of 7 will bring up 2nd and 3.
Coalfield did a really good job at that time in the offensive line, getting a push of the Cloudland defensive line.
Clock ticking, 2:20 left to go in the first quarter. If you think we should bring you how much time is on the clock more often, we're trying our best. We got to hang out a window to see it. Hines takes a snap, rolls to his right, pump fakes. Now he's going to have to keep it, and he's brought down at the 40, and that's a loss of 2 on the play, and will bring up 3rd and 5.
Stopped by number 34, Coy Landley, 6'1", 195, fullback, the senior inside linebacker and fullback for this Cloudland football team. He is one of their key football players, number 34. Keep an eye on number 34 as the inside linebacker for Cloudland, 74, the defensive tackle, and number 4.
Hines, tight formation to the left and right. Throw out of the backfield goes to Lau. Lau able to get to the outside. Gets to the 30, still on his feet in a foot race and drugged down around the 14-yard line.
Great run that time for the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. Picked up a lot from nothing.
Trying to see where they spot the ball. I was off by about 10 yards. It's actually at the 5-yard line. And so Coalfield has it 1st and goal. 1:12 left to go in the first quarter.
A lot of options here for the Coalfield offensive coordinator. Let's see what he kind of wants to go with here. Loaded formation.
Lau up the middle, and he's met hard on the play. Brought down.
What a defensive stand that time by Cloudland. Able to break through the offensive line. Coalfield was unable to get a push that time.
Picks up about 2. Brings up second and goal from the 4. 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Loaded backfield. Hines fakes the handoff. He's in a lot of trouble. Spin move, sacked. Brought down all the way at the 11-yard line, and that'll bring up third and goal.
Mavericks,
25 seconds
similarly,
left.
5'10", 205-pound defensive lineman. Broke through the offensive line and was able to really put some pressure on the quarterback. Got a big sack.
Coalfield does not have to run another play as the clock is all the way down to 5 seconds, and Coalfield will not run another play. We have come to the conclusion of the first 12 minutes here at Cloudland. It is the Highlanders leading over the Yellow Jackets 8-7, but Coalfield in scoring position on your OEB Law Game of the Week. And we'd like to say a big thank you to MBM Heating and Air, locally owned and operated by Karen and Reagan Williams, proud supporters of Morgan County Schools. They offer 100% financing, and while supplies last, they have scratch and dent units that can save you big money, and all the units still have a full 10-year factory warranty. Plus, they offer preventative maintenance that can keep your heat and air unit running at its peak performance. Call MBM Heating and Air for all your HVAC needs at 865-771-2620. Also, a big thank you to R&R Lumber Company of Coalfield helping us with this broadcast. Call 865-435-1286 for your lumber needs. They have great mulch for sale by the truckload as well, located at 147 R&R Sawmill Road off Fairview Road. And a big thank you to Patriot Home Care, quality care close to home. Call 865-234-7007. Offices in Oak Ridge, Harriman, and Wartburg. Trust Patriot Home Care, a locally owned and operated home health care agency. They are committed to providing compassionate, quality-focused care customized around your specific needs while coordinating and communicating with family and physicians. Visit patriothomecare.com for more information about their services. So Coalfield, with a third and goal from the 11-yard line. They're going to line up with their original lineup there. Cole Hines takes a snap, looks left, tries to set up the stringing to Bowling, and Bowling is drugged down at the 15-yard line and thrown out of bounds. So that'll bring up fourth and goal for Coalfield, and you wonder if they don't send in Luke Treese to kick the extra point.
Kick the field goal. We'll see here if what they elect to do. I don't think they're going to send out the field goal situation here. So what do we got? 4th and 11.
Yeah. Well, the ball's at the 12-yard line, so fourth and goal from the 12. 9 seconds on the play clock now as Hines just now gets in to call the play. Coalfield will have to run up to the line of scrimmage. They're not going to get it off, so Coalfield is going to have to take a timeout. Big thank you tonight to Sexton Automotive of Oak Ridge for our transportation. Visit Sexton Automotive for your top quality pre-owned vehicles, rentals, service, body shop, and more. Sexton Automotive of Oak Ridge, 799 Oak Ridge Turnpike, Oak Ridge. Call 865-272-3223. And I'd like to give a huge shout out tonight to John Boy's Barbecue as well. John Boy hooked us up. We got burnt ends. We got the barbecue bologna. We got the pulled brisket. We got the pulled pork. We got the pulled chicken. We got the coleslaw, the baked beans. We got the works. John Boy's Barbecue, located right there at the junction of Highway 62 and 116. Home of the Sweet 29 sauce, family owned and operated. Call John Boy today, 423-539-0704. They're going to stop taking orders tomorrow, so if you want a smoked turkey, ham, or pork loin, you better hurry, 423-539-0704. So Coalfield is going to go for it on 4th down as they're going to come out with 3 wide to the far side of the field, 1 to the near side.
Man
in the
coverage
backfield
at the bottom of your screen.
Hines rolls to his right. He's got a man there, and that pass is incomplete. He had Landon Gallion, threw it a little bit behind him, and Gallion could not adjust to the football, and so Coalfield will turn it over on downs.
Big turnover there for the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. Just a missed opportunity in scoring position. Was unable to link up there with the quarterback and wide receiver.
Yeah, Coalfield actually also really good in the red zone this year. So a rare miss for Coalfield.
Coalfield coming back out in that 4-man front.
Yeah, Coalfield previously was 41 of 49 from the red zone.
Wow. So that tells you that this Cloudland defense is a little more stingy than what Coalfield's used to.
Indeed. So Cloudland takes over. Their first carry goes to Sluter, and this time they're going to send their quarterback into the game, Camden Peppers. So we've not seen a lot of him. This is only the second play that we've seen him. And when Peppers comes in under center, that allows Sluter and Birchfield to both be in the backfield. And we've got a fumble on the play. And you can tell Cloudland doesn't they don't use a quarterback much because that looks sloppy.
And we was watching him throw in warm-ups, and he's got a pretty good arm for shorter type routes.
And he'll stay in the game as Cloudland will have a 3rd and about 6. So again, Peppers under center. Sluter and Birchfield in the backfield. The pitch goes to Sluter. Birchfield lead blocker. Sluter gets up past the 25, and the whistle blew before he was on the ground. That was interesting. However, Sluter does have enough for a first down.
They actually stopped his. Wow. I don't quite understand what happened there.
They gave him the first, but yeah. Did he go down? Or?
I didn't see. That was a weird stoppage there. Might have been an inadvertent whistle.
That happened right in front of me, and I swear I did not see him go down. Anyway, fresh set of downs, and this time Birchfield's going to go in from the wildcat position. Birchfield looking for running room up the middle. Not going to find much there at all. Tackled at the 25-yard line. So no gain on the play will bring up 2nd and 10.
Great job that time, but Landon Lau, number 1 for Coalfield, coming off the edge there and making that Wildcat quarterback bounce around there and let his teammates rally to the football and get a tackle.
8:55 left to go in the first half. Cloudland leads Coalfield 8-7.
It's no surprise that Cloudland is going to run the football.
Here's Sluter on the direct snap, and Sluter gets up to the 30, maybe to the 31 before he's brought down. A pickup of 5 or 6 will bring up 3rd and manageable.
A lot of options for the Cloudland offensive coordinator here, who is dressed. He must have just got off work, laying block or something. He's out here in construction gear. You know you're watching single-A football when your offensive coordinator's out here wearing construction gear.
Birchfield on the direct snap, gets a good block, gets up to the 40, down across the 40. They're going to mark him at the 42. That's enough to keep the chains moving again. Fresh set of downs for Cloudland.
Saved a touchdown there. Just slowed him up enough to let Landon Lau catch up to him and secure the tackle. If it wasn't for Mullins there, that was a touchdown. Coalfield's defensive backs are going to have to recognize run quicker and come downhill. Yeah.
Here's Sluter in the Wildcat. Sluter runs straight up the middle, and he's met and brought down at, they're going to give him the 44. That'll be a pickup of 2. We'll bring up 2nd and 8. And now they go back to what they did the first possession and the second possession. They're just going to rotate Sluter and Birchfield out. So Birchfield will be in the Wildcat formation this time.
Really what you have here is 10 blockers versus 7 blockers at Coalfield. So, of course, they're going to have numbers. That's why your defensive backs have really got to do a good job of coming downhill.
Birchfield gets up to the 45 before he's brought down. And that will bring up 3rd and 7. And it looks like Camden Peppers is going to come back into the game. And again, what that does when you bring in Peppers is that allows Sluter and Birchfield to both be there in the backfield.
And they really like this kid, number 13, Camden Peppers. He's a freshman, 6'1", 190 pounds. Really good looking little athlete.
The pitch goes to Birchfield. Birchfield looks for a halfback pass. Nothing there. And he's going to be brought down on the play at the 39-yard line. You see, for Coalfield, Isaiah Sheldon is fired up without a helmet.
He came with a passion across that line of scrimmage and was coming after the football in a hurry. I like how he plays the game of football. I'm assuming he'd be kin to the other Sheldon, who's from Coalfield, one of the Coalfield greats.
Eli Roberts back deep to receive this Caleb Sluter punt.
Ooh.
Sluter almost has it blocked. It's an ugly spiral, but gets a great Cloudland bounce. And that ball is going to roll all the way down to the 19-yard line, and that's where Coalfield will take over.
I tell you, Bryson Ridge almost had that punt there. I'm talking 2 inches, and that's a block punt. That would have helped field position majorly for this Coalfield football team.
It was close. So Coalfield takes over with 6:03 left to go in the first half, trailing this game by a score of 8-7.
Coalfield's going to obviously have to establish the run, but I swear they've got a mismatch here in the passing game if they can get enough time to complete some passes down the field.
Hines handoff goes to Bowling. Bowling makes the guy miss. He's up into the open field, and we've got a flag, a late flag that comes out. I think that's going to be a block in the back.
Ooh, that's in the
and
area
I think
of it.
This official was so far away. I saw it when it happened. This official was so far away, he just threw the flag as far as he could.
Yeah. That's a big penalty against the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. It stagnates that drive, but had a big play there. So let's see if they can continue that momentum here in this. Defensive coordinator still electing to go man coverage.
And the interesting thing about that is where the foul occurred, you had a 10-yard penalty, so the ball is spotted at the 20, right inside the 20, and the drive started at the 19. So it's actually 1st and 9. So Coalfield does lose the big play, but they aren't behind the chains. And here's a handoff to Lau. Lau gets up to the 23, 24-yard line before he's brought down, and that'll bring up 2nd and about 5.
Cloudland's defense did a really good job that time of rotating to the football, scraping to the football. Defensive lineman did a good job of getting off the Coalfield blocks.
Now, you say that there's a mismatch with the Cloudland secondary versus the Coalfield wide receivers. Are you surprised they're not trying to exploit that more?
I'll be surprised in the second half if they don't start throwing the football more. The first half is to establish a run game, try to get those DBs creeping up. And look at this. Deepest DB is about 5 yards from the football.
Hines back to pass. Now he's going to take off and run, quarterback draw, and Hines runs into the official before getting down to the 34-yard line. That'll be enough to move the sticks. So I believe, if I might have you wrong, So let me go ahead and ask you just to make sure. Are you saying that Coalfield doesn't want to show that too early because that allows Cloudland to kind of make adjustments at halftime?
Exactly. So you want to just establish that run game early on, wear down those big old defensive linemen, slow down that pass rush a little bit, and get those defensive backs creeping up, and eventually a play action will catch them asleep.
So here's Hines. Has Bowling in motion. Pitch does go to Bowling. Bowling tries to make the outside. Gets up to about the 40 before he's brought down. In fact, they're going to give him the 41. So a good pickup of about 6 yards will bring up 2nd and 4.
A lot of things you can call here. 2nd and 4.
Well, this game kicked off at 7. There's only 4 minutes left, 4:14 left to go in the first half. It's going quickly. Here's Hines again, sends Lau in motion this time, but handoff goes straight up the middle and out to the 44-yard line is
close.
Bowling. They're going to give him just shy of the 45. And that is enough for a first down. So Coalfield moves the sticks again. Clock continuing to run. Under 4 minutes now. 3:55, in fact. Yellow Jackets trailing 8-7. If you just joined us, both teams scored on their first drives. Neither team has scored since. So here's Hines. Man in motion. That's Mullins. Fakes the handoff to Mullins, looks downfield. He's got a man there. It's Gallion. Gallion trying to make an adjustment to the ball and can't. It falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Had the play they wanted, just couldn't connect on it.
Yep. Little code, hard throw to make. Just floated a little bit too long, and I believe Roberts slipped on the play.
That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Ball spotted again at the 45-yard line. Clock stopped with 3:29.
That should back up these wide receivers, or these defensive backs, just a little bit. Let's see if their lineup is a little bit different. Now, see, they're a little bit deeper than what they normally was. Not much, but a little bit.
Here's Hines. Straight drop.
Got a man.
Looks downfield. He's got a man running. It's Mullins. Mullins able to make that catch somehow.
Refused to be denied. Levi Mullins coming down with the football.
What a catch. That's going to spot the ball at the 26-yard line. 1st and 10, 3:21 left to go in the first half.
And it was a mismatch. That's what you want to see. You want to see your offensive coordinator draw up plays, mismatches and such. When you have a linebacker guarding a wide receiver, that's a mismatch. And Coalfield really took advantage of that.
Yeah, you know, what that does also is it opens up your running game a little bit too.
Exactly right. And I'm anxious to see the defensive back alignment, if it's still 5 yards deep and it's still pretty shallow.
No safeties deep. Here's another crossbuck play. This goes to Lau. Lau gets down to the 23-yard line. Pickup of close to 3.
Big number 74 for Cloudland, Dylan McClellan, 6'1", 320-pounder. He is a heck of a football player. He's only a sophomore. And he is a difference maker immediately up front on both sides of the ball for the Cloudland Highlanders.
Cloudland band members playing the Imperial March. Hines takes a snap, rolls to his right. Option play. Hines keeps it, gets up to the 20-yard line before he's brought down. And I believe he's got to make the 15, so this will bring up, it'd be about 3rd and 4.
Cloudland's safety is actually spying the quarterback of Coalfield. So if the offensive coordinator can recognize that from the press box, he will see that that safety is just a decoy and will be in run support only.
Hines with the snap. Quarterback keeper tries to get to where he's going. He's going to be brought down shy of the 20-yard line, and that's going to be a loss of 1 on the play, and that will bring up 4th down and about 5.
Big 4th down here for the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. See what Coach calls from the press box. Good situation. Always do a hard count. See if you can pick up some cheap yardage.
1 minute left to go on this 4th down play. Hines takes the snap, looks, passes it, and slipping down is Landon Gallion. Had the man there, but Gallion slipped when he came out of his break.
That's twice a Coalfield wide receiver has slipped on the play and missed a pretty good pass.
He was right where it needed to be.
We was walking around on this field earlier today, and we did notice, there's no Bermuda on this field. It's basically a cow pasture with just yard grass in it, big lumps everywhere. So this isn't a field that you would compare to at Coalfield.
So Peppers into the game, hands off to Mr. Football candidate Birchfield, and Birchfield is brought down with no gain on the play. And the clock is winding down. 40 seconds left to go in this first half, and the way Cloudland runs this thing, they're probably going to try to run a play, maybe get something out of it, and just be glad if they don't to take it into halftime with a 1-point lead.
Yeah, Brock Jones did a really good job that time for the Coalfield Yellow Jackets of sealing the edge and not allowing that running back to bounce outside.
This handoff goes to Sluter. Sluter breaks the tackle up the middle, and he's met by the Coalfield backfield, or defensive backfield, I should say, down to the 40. That's enough for a first down and will temporarily stop the clock with 12 seconds left.
Sluter don't have the speed and he's going to outrun everybody, but what he does have is excellent field vision. He sees a little bit of crease and he bounces in it.
And Cloudland is going to take a timeout to make sure the clock stops. And some time did run off the clock, though. There's only 5 seconds left to go in this first half. So a big thank you to Coalfield football alumnus of the Yellow Jackets, also a former Tennessee football letterman, Stephen Hensley, your VFL realtor. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, let Stephen help you. Call 865-742-1672. Visit his website as well, vflrealtor.com.
Everybody, Crooked Fork Farms would like to let you know they're now offering some brush control services. You see there on the screen everything that is offered. If you need that service, please give them a call, 865-206-7560, crookedforkfarms.com. They are also offering beef, lean, grass-fed, hormone, and antibiotic-free beef. Please give them a call, 865-206-7560.
All right, so Peppers back into the game at quarterback. Peppers is going to fake the handoff and give a handoff. And for the first time today, we see a carry by Cloudland's Gage McKinney. And a big pickup on the play is going to do well to pad the stats a little bit, but that's going to take us into halftime. Your score at halftime, Cloudland leading over Coalfield in a quick half, 8-7 on your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Guys, everybody, if you've noticed at the grocery store, beef prices are outrageous. About 20% they have rose in the last year. Currently, Crooked Fork Farms is offering grass-fed, hormone-free, antibiotic-free, all-natural organic beef at $5.50 per pound, guys. They sell halves and wholes. If you're interested, please give them a phone call at 865-206-7560. Visit crookedforkfarms.com. They are also offering hauling and transport services. If you have livestock or if you have an RV or you have any type of transient stuff that you're needing help with, please give them a call, 865-206-7560, crookedforkfarms.com. Click on transport services.
And also want to give a huge shout out to Judy and Charles Slack, Scott Jackson, Jim Rivers, David Rivers, Joe and Judy Jones, Tom Kilby Sr., Alan West, and Carl Reeves. We've got to pay TSSAA a streaming fee, so we opened up the field for some donations, and we got some from these people. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here, carry this football game, stream it online, and allow people to watch this football game that weren't able to make it out to Cloudland. So again, it is halftime. Cloudland leading over Coalfield by a score of 8-7 after 1. We're going to try to maybe look around the area, get you some scores. And we will also break down the first half of this game when we get back to your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check. Football is back.
At Patriot Home Care, our personal approach to patients is what sets us apart.
I truly appreciate the kindness through the years.
Thank you so much for the care you provided for my husband. Your kindness and compassion will always be appreciated.
We can assist with all ages. Our dedicated staff has the experience to take care of your needs.
The entire home care team has been amazing, and I've definitely felt supported throughout.
Let our family take care of your family. From full-time to just a few hours. See how Patriot Home Care can help you. At Patriot Home Care,
OEB Law is excited to be a part of this year's football season. School spirit is at an all-time high. OEB Law is proud to give back and support our community. Come cheer on these great teams with us. And remember, if you've been injured or need legal help, OEB Law will be there for you. So visit wreckintoacheck.com or give us a call, 865-546-1111, and let OEB Law turn your wreck into a check. OEB.
At OEB Law, our home is your home. And your family is our family. And down here, family takes care of family. Giving back and helping out whenever needed. OEB Law is proud to be from East Tennessee. OEB Law feels like home.
Land that corporate dream job. Recalculating. Fun day at the lake. Recalculating. Finally time to relax on that family vacation. Recalculating. Getting the representation and compensation you deserve. You have arrived. OEB Law is there for all of life's detours. Call them today, 865-546-1111.
At Patriot Home Care, our personal approach to patients is what sets us apart.
I truly appreciate the kindness through the years.
Thank you so much for the care you provided for my husband. Your kindness and compassion will always be appreciated.
We can assist with all ages. Our dedicated staff has the experience to take care of your needs.
The entire home care team has been amazing, and I've definitely felt supported throughout.
Let our family take care of your family. From full-time to just a few hours. See how Patriot Home Care can help you.
Chocolate.
Back at your OEB Law Game of the Week, it is halftime here at Cloudland, where the Highlanders lead over the Coalfield Yellow Jackets by a score of 8-7. If you are just joining us, you want to know how we got here. Well, Cloudland won the coin toss. They decided to receive to start this game. Got the kickoff. They drove straight down the field and scored on Coalfield and got the extra point to go up 8-0. Well, Coalfield got the ensuing kickoff, took it straight down the field and scored and hit the extra point to make it 8-7, and we've been scoreless since. So that first drive for both of these teams, the defenses tried to figure out the offenses. The offenses got the upper hand, and we've been scoreless since. So that's where we are at this point. Some scores of interest, though, around the area. Last check we have with 3:42 left to go in the second quarter, Elizabethton and Greenville tied at 7.
Wow.
Now,
that is a ball game. That's one of the better matchups. We was referring to that earlier in the pregame. Elizabethton is one of the premier jobs in the state of Tennessee right now, and that embarrassment that they gave them against Greenville in the regular season, that has been inflaming that team ever since that's happened. So it's good to see that Elizabethton is fighting hard.
Yeah, Elizabethton 10-1 on the year. Their only blemish was against Greenville in that shutout blowout that you were talking about earlier. Alcoa up on Pigeon Forge in the second quarter, 42-0. No surprise there. That's about what we thought. Now, this is interesting. This one is at halftime. Maryville 14, Farragut 7.
That is interesting, but, like you alluded to a couple weeks ago, is Farragut normally starts playing their better ball later in the season. Year in, year out, Farragut is known to do that. They could be 5-5 and make a little bit of a run in the playoffs. But what a fight for the Farragut Admirals right now, being down by 7.
In the second quarter, it is Hampton up 14-0 over Oneida at the reservation. So I don't know how much time is left in the second quarter, but I can tell you that is the score. In the second quarter, West is up on Central 28-7.
Wow, that is a shocking score to me, to be honest with you.
West is really good.
West is West.
Yeah.
They've always got athletes every year. They've got one or two guys that definitely can play higher level college football. So
we just got an update in the second quarter. Hampton has scored again, and they lead over Oneida 22-0.
Getting kind of ugly at the reservation.
So that's kind of surprising. Here's a good score for you. In the second quarter, Giles County leads over Loudon 21-14.
21-14 Giles over Loudon.
Yep.
We got a game.
Yep.
That's actually a little bit surprising for me. Glad to see the Redskins hanging in there.
Yep. And so Powell leads over Ray County in the second quarter 14-0. That's a solid Ray County team.
Yeah, that's a very disciplined Ray County team. Ray County is always, not the fastest group of kids that you'll see take the football field, but something that you always see out of the Ray County bunch is discipline and toughness.
Now, we both picked Powell to win the state championship in 5A this year. How fortunate were we to be able to see them to start our season?
Yeah, what a great game. It's one of the better games that I've been able to cover with BBB 12. That game was exciting, nonstop, and a close game all the way to the end as Anderson County just came away with a loss in that one.
Yeah, high-scoring affair. Took 4 hours to get through. I think we had like 200 yards and penalties.
Yeah, about 8 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, it was wild. Upperman and Red Bank tied at 7 in the second quarter. And this first half went by so fast. This was probably one of the fastest halves that I've ever seen in high school football. And so these games that are taking place in the Central Time Zone, they've not even kicked off yet.
Yep.
And we're already at halftime here.
You're going to see Coalfield, I think, come out in the second half and start throwing the football around a little bit more, get kind of creative with the passing routes. I see a major mismatch there for the Yellow Jackets with the athletes that they have running an open field. If they can just get a little bit of separation, give that quarterback some time, I see a couple more touchdowns coming through the air if they're able to connect.
And Coalfield turning the ball over on downs inside the 10-yard line is very not Coalfield-like.
Let you know that they're playing against good competition, and that's what, Coalfield, that's been what we've been talking about all year with Coalfield, is most of their starters, almost every game, get pulled definitely in the first half, sometimes in the first quarter. So how many reps does your starters get in a regular season for Coalfield? Not a lot. And that sometimes has a major impact as you're moving along in the playoffs. It's a good thing. Hey, you're rested, but also you're sort of untested in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and just a note, and we mentioned this in the pregame, but Coalfield over the last 5 games has shut out 2 opponents and has not allowed any opponent to score more than 7 points. Well, Cloudland beat that in their first drive of this game by scoring 8. And I know, that's okay, big deal. It's just 8 points, but
it just shows you the difference in competition.
Yeah.
And that's why we always, and most people that support high school football in our area, always want to see Coalfield play a tougher regular season game, because it always helps them later on in the season when they play a tougher schedule in the regular season, playing up and playing some bigger teams like the Carters and such. It does help them later in playoffs.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're talking about Carter. You talk about Gordonsville, both of those games that Coalfield lost. But that touchdown that Cloudland scored was only the second first quarter touchdown that Coalfield has allowed all season long.
Dominating. That is dominant.
So, and I mentioned also red zone success for Coalfield. They were 41 of 49 coming into this game. That is very good. But now they're 41 of 50 because Cloudland was able to stop them inside the 20.
Cloudland with a roster size of 28. They've got 12 seniors, very senior-led team. 3 juniors, 8 sophomores, and 5 freshmen. So a total of 28. Coalfield has 36, 8 seniors, 9 juniors, 5 sophomores, 7 freshmen, and 7 eighth graders.
Yeah. Now, again, Coalfield has won the last 9 meetings against Cloudland. So this is something that, this is a very familiar matchup. And again, this is so odd to think about this, but between 2004 and 2008, 2014 and 2018, Coalfield played here at Cloudland in the playoffs at Cloudland, which means they played for 5 straight years and never at Coalfield. It was always right here on this field, and Coalfield won every single one of those games. And 2018 is the last time that they played. So some time has passed between them.
Yeah, this is a tough bunch. Like I said, this Cloudland bunch they're wearing old jerseys, got matched jerseys, got teammates wearing different kind of jerseys, different helmets with decals on them. Not to sound bad, but it's kind of like the Bad News Bears. But there ain't nothing bad about their play at all. They are playing outstanding football no matter what they're wearing or what they look like. So this is a heck of a football team here.
Not only that, but you heard as they were coming out of the locker room, the crowd went nuts. And they're all the way on the other side of the field from us. There's not a whole lot of them over there, and they're mixed with Coalfield fans over there, but we could hear them just fine. In fact, they're screaming and cheering for their team. Getting behind their team made it difficult for me to hear what you were saying while they were doing that. So they've got community support here, and they believe. And they should.
Yes, they should. They've got a great program here. Like you said, Cloudland and Coalfield met every year to see who would advance in the playoffs. So I don't expect any change in that. This is a good little program in single-A football. And you see the struggles all across single-A football with finances. And I'm certain that this is the same type of issue that you see here for the Cloudland.
So
you see their head coach coming here and blue jeans with brick dust all over them and wearing boots. It's classic single-A football.
Yeah. That's what you come to expect. Hey, we're no stranger to this stuff.
No, but you love seeing that. You love seeing a team come out here that looks like this. It's dirty from head to toe, mismatching uniforms, and playing outstanding football. That's rare to see, and it's just really awesome.
So it is exactly 8 o'clock. Exactly 8 o'clock. This game kicked off at exactly 7 o'clock. So it has been an hour since we kicked off for the first half, and we're getting ready. Coalfield's coming out to kick off for the second half. So if the second half goes like the first half goes, which I don't expect it to, but if it does, then
it's going to be quick.
Yeah.
So don't go anywhere, guys. Stay tuned to the TV and really pay attention, because you are not going to get a lot of football in this second half. Limited possessions. That's why Coalfield is going to have to do everything that's possible for them to utilize as many times as they can on offense, because they're not going to have a lot of opportunities on offense with the type of system that Cloudland is running.
So it looks like Coalfield sends Eli Roberts back deep to receive. Cloudland's still getting their kickoff team ready. Oh, they put 3 minutes back on the clock. I didn't think they did that in the playoffs. So, yeah, Coalfield's ready to go. They're saying, hey, come on, guys.
Yeah, you'd love seeing that. That's always intimidating. Something I like is how many referees we have in playoffs. The chain gang crew is all referees, and they have a referee operating a time clock, and that's always nice. And I wish one day in the future that we could get to that in the regular season as well.
Applications are being accepted, Mr. Gibson.
TSSAA.org if you're interested in being a referee or umpire. There's major baseball and softball shortages, as well as football and basketball.
Yep.
So if you are interested in being part of the game that you love and you want to help the children, the youth of today, please go to TSSAA.org and submit your resume.
.32 degrees here at Cloudland High School, Roan Mountain.
I'd love to know what the chill factor is, because it is cold. That wind is hitting. It's hitting different up here, ain't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's cold.
And we're stuck up in the crow's nest here. No windows. All right, getting ready for the kickoff here.
Kicking off for Cloudland is Jacob Street.
First time for Cloudland kicking off, ain't it? Nope. Oh, yeah, that's right.
And here we go. Second half is underway. And that ball is taken at the 25, picked up by Landon Gallion. Gallion spin move, gets all the way up to the 42-yard line. So, again, Coalfield will have good starting position.
Big break there again. Let's see if Coalfield can get a little more push out of that offensive line up front with the severely undersized defensive line of Cloudland.
I'll be interested to see what adjustments were made on both sides of the football for both of these teams.
Yep. I'd like to see both running backs stay in and block, send your 3 wide receivers out, and you should see a separation.
Well, ask and you shall receive. There's Levi Mullins, and Mullins is dragged down in the backfield at the 38-yard line.
And it's clear as day that Coalfield's trying to attack the outside off-tackle runs with that's the same play that they came out and ran at the first play of the game.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
About the same result.
Yeah, that normally tells you that they're going back to the first script of the game. They seen something they liked, and they could be going right back to the same script that they were doing at the beginning of the play, first 20, 15 plays.
Well, we'll see what happens here.
20 personnel, 2 running backs, no tight ends.
Landon Loud gets
I tell
carried.
you what, Dylan McQuillan, again 6'1", 320-pound sophomore for this Cloudland defense, anchor in that nose guard position. And he is one hard person to move. He's got a low center of gravity, and he is very strong. One of the better defensive linemen, I would imagine, in single-A football. And only a sophomore.
So here's Cole Hines with 3rd and about 12. Hines rolls to his right, looks downfield, has a man, and that pass is incomplete. Trying to find Roberts. Coalfield will have to punt. It was a 3 and out, and a minute 33 came off the clock. Back deep to receive is Birchfield.
And he
back
is
deep to punt for Coalfield
very
is
shallow punter right
Lau.
here.
Lau punts it away. End over ender. And then slipping down is Birchfield. So
that's the third slip we've seen about in the same spot. Cloudland going with the freshman quarterback. Where they have both running backs in at the same time. Very difficult to defend if you're Coalfield. Any guess what they're going to run here, Aaron?
I think they're going to run verticals. Peppers under center.
Now, keep in mind, you could see a little bit of a rollout with this quarterback.
And again, Coalfield jumps off sides on defense. That's the second time they've done that. And so we'll have a 1st and 5. And again, Pepper's in the game. And this time, a great tackle by Big Daddy Henry.
He came with aggression. Came slamming downhill, attacked his gap responsibility, and made a really good ankle-saving tackle there.
Everything he does, it's like he's shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, he's full speed. There's no slowing that young man down. And that's exactly what you need out of an inside linebacker. Tennessee has kind of got a guy like that out, Jeremy Banks. He shoots A and B gaps responsibilities, and you see Colton Henry there doing the same thing.
Pepper's back in the game. Struder and Birchfield. Struder gets the carry up the middle and keeps driving his legs. Gets up to the 34-yard line. Going to be shy by about a yard of that first down. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Big third down for the Coalfield Yellow Jackets here. Cloudland going power here. Think you'll get a good dose of the star senior running back. Lined up at the quarterback position.
Yeah, power I formation now as handoff goes to Birchfield. Birchfield bounces it outside, and he stood up and dropped by Mullins, but not before getting that first down at the 38-yard line. Good job by Levi Mullins.
Big first down for the Cloudland Highlanders. 3 yards and a cloud of dust.
So Pepper stays in the game. Back to that little power set. Handoff goes to Struder over right or left guard. And Struder gets up to the 40, pickup of 2, brings up 2nd and 8.
Limited gain that time by the Highlanders. Clock still ticking away.
Yeah, in fact, 8:14 left to go in this third quarter. Struder out, Birchfield in. Coalfield almost jumped again. Birchfield gets the carry, and Birchfield takes it up to about the 47-yard line, and he's going to be about half a yard shy of the first down.
Brock Jones in on the tackle for the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. The Highlanders are kind of having their way in the running game so far tonight. Coalfield hasn't had a good response to the running game as of yet.
So Birchfield out, Struder in. Handoff goes to Struder. Struder over left guard, still driving his feet up to the 49-yard line of Coalfield, and that's enough to move the chains again.
Tough running out of the Cloudland running back, Struder. Picked up a lot of tough yards there.
So like we've seen a lot, Struder comes out, and he's replaced by Birchfield. Power set, old school football, and The handoff does not go to Birchfield this time. It goes to McKinney, and McKinney gets all the way up to the 36-yard line, and we've got a late flag. It comes in after the play. We'll see what that is, but McKinney has enough for the first down, depending on what the flag is.
In the area of holding, let's see what the referee saw.
Personal foul, face mask. So they're going to call a hands to the face on Cloudland, and that'll back the Highlanders up and wipe off that first down. And that's a big penalty. That puts the ball all the way back to the Cloudland 43-yard line. The original line of scrimmage was the Coalfield 49. So that'll bring up 1st and 18. And now we've got a timeout. Cloudland wants a timeout with 6:51 left to play in the third quarter. The Highlanders lead at 8-7 on the OEB Law Game of the Week.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
Back at your OEB Law Game of the Week, out of the timeout, Cloudland has a 1st and 18.
And this Cloudland fan base is letting their team know that they are supporting them.
All right, they've gone back to this Wildcat formation, so it's Struder in the game, and Struder crosses the 35, gets all the way up to about the 48. They're going to give him the 48-yard line, and that'll bring up 2nd and about 13.
Cloudland with 0 passing yards and 0 attempts all night.
Well, with a 1-point lead, the clock is definitely your friend. Keep that thing running. Keep Coalfield's offense off the field. That's what Cloudland wants to do, and they've been very successful doing that. Here's Seth Birchfield into the game. He runs to his left, gets to the outside, hurdles a guy, but then is tripped up at the 45-yard line, 6 yards shy. We'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Coalfield came out in a 5-man front, looked similar to a 50 defense. Their defensive end on the top side of the screen was unable to keep contained. Cloudland was able to pick up a big gain there on the run.
So Birchfield comes out. Struder is back in. That Wildcat formation with 3 blockers to his right. Here's Struder. He will take off that way. A tackle is missed. Another tackle is missed. And finally brought down at the 35-yard line. That's enough for the first down. Finally getting him down is Eli Justice. But Cloudland just methodical.
Cloudland's fired up off their success. Coalfield's got to slow down this running game. Going to have more support out of the defensive backfield. Safety's going to have to come up and help out.
5:20 left to go in the third quarter. Birchfield back in the game. Birchfield runs behind 3 blockers of his own on the right side. Breaks it free to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Cloudland.
Big touchdown by the Cloudland Highlanders.
36-yard run for Birchfield.
Mr. Football
Puts
Finals.
Cloudland up 14-7.
Stayed behind his offensive lineman there till there was green pastures ahead and picked up a huge touchdown.
So this is huge. Cloudland got the first 2-point conversion. They don't kick extra points, apparently. They're going to go for it again. This is big. Coalfield needs to stop this because then that puts Coalfield a touchdown and an extra point from tying it up. Under center's Peppers. And he's going to keep it, and driving to the goal line and being pushed by the rest of his team, but does not cross the goal line. The 2-point conversion fails. That is huge for Coalfield. 5:05 left to go in the third quarter. Highlanders lead it over the Yellow Jackets 14-7 on your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Thank you so much for the care you provided for my husband. Your kindness and compassion will always be appreciated.
We can assist with all ages. Our dedicated staff has the experience to take care of your needs.
The entire home care team has been amazing, and I've definitely felt supported throughout.
Let our family take care of your family, from full-time to just a few hours. See how Patriot Home Care can help you.
Back at your OEB Law Game of the Week, Cloudland punches it in on their first possession of the second half. So Cloudland scored on their first possession of the first half and their first possession of the second half. Highlanders lead at 14-7. What's Cloudland doing?
320-pound kicker.
Dylan McClellan. And McClellan kicks it directly to Big Daddy Henry. Henry brings it up to the 40. And that's about Coalfield's average starting spot after kickoff from Cloudland. So let's see what Coalfield comes out doing.
Let's see if they've changed up some of their tactics a little bit here. They haven't had much success at all running off tackle. So let's see if they start to throw the football a little bit more here. Coming out in a loaded formation. 2 tight ends. 2 running backs, 22 personnel.
Handoff goes to Lau. Lau maybe picks up a yard.
Number 34, Coy Laney, 6'1", 195-pound fullback linebacker for this Cloudland team. Is one of the better defensive players probably at the linebacker position in single A.
Cloudland is fired up.
Coalfield again, 22 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, 1 quarterback.
Lau and Henry in the game. Here's Hines, quick out. That goes to Gallion. Gallion makes the first man miss and gets up to the 44-yard line of Cloudland. That's enough for a first down.
Got to be able to throw the football a little bit more. Keep them honest with the play action. Get some of your athletes some one-on-one type situations. Hey, 50-50 ball. Let's see what happens. Loaded formation again for Coalfield.
Handoff goes to Lau. Lau met in the backfield and dropped.
Big
It'll be a loss of 2, brings up 2nd and 12.
Eli Benfield, 5'10", 225-pound defensive lineman for this Cloudland team. There was 2 defenders right in the face of the running back of Coalfield.
We said this game would be won in the trenches, and so far Cloudland is winning that battle.
Loaded formation again. Same 22 personnel. 2 tight ends, 2 running backs.
Hines takes a snap, rolls to his left, looks over the field. He's got a man. Did not go where I thought he was going to go. Instead, he tried to hit A.J. Henry. He had, I believe it was a tight end wide open middle of the field.
Well, they elected to send 2 wide receivers out and kept everybody else in to block, which, really gave Cloudland an opportunity to cover 2 wide receivers out of that loaded formation. That's a very hard pass play to get.
3rd down and 12. Clock stopped with 3:05 left to go in the third quarter. 3 wide out to the near side, 1 to the far side. Hines drops straight back.
This is what they needed to
Lets
be
it
doing
go.
right
He's
here.
got Mullins. That pass is caught. Mullins down to the 5, trying to get into the end zone. He does. Touchdown, Coalfield.
Been waiting on it all night long. They've had mismatches. It's been there all night long. Luckily for Coalfield, they capitalize here in the third quarter. Tying this ball game up.
It was a 3rd and 12, and Hines hooks up with Mullins for a 46-yard touchdown pass. And now Luke Treese is on to attempt the extra point. Again, that's why we said that missed 2-point conversion was huge for Cloudland, but now this extra point is huge as well.
A lot of pressure on Luke here. Block that kick as the crowd for Cloudland chants. The freshman nails it.
Kick is good. Tie game all of a sudden with 2:54 left to go in the third quarter as Coalfield and Cloudland are all tied up.
OEB Law is excited to be a part of this year's football season. School spirit is at an all-time high. OEB Law is proud to give back and support our community. Come cheer on these great teams with us. And remember, if you've been injured or need legal help, OEB Law will be there for you. So visit wreckintoacheck.com or give us a call, 865-546-1111, and let OEB Law turn your wreck into a check.
Back at the OEB Law Game of the Week, Hayden Hicks set to kick deep for Coalfield. And back deep to receive for Cloudland, Struder, and Birchfield. Hicks has already kicked a touchback tonight. And this one, there's a flag on the play, which is good probably for Coalfield because Hicks hit this one off the side of his foot out of bounds.
You might have an offside here on Coalfield.
I'm seeing illegal participation. Maybe. Where's Mr. White at?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was an offsides there.
Yeah, well, whatever it was a 5-yard penalty, which backs Coalfield up. Now, see what this does, though, is that probably makes it to where Hicks cannot kick this one into the end zone for a touchback.
That is a key factor, so kick it short.
Yeah,
you definitely don't want to kick it to Mr. Football back there.
And that's what he does.
And here's some danger. Here's danger.
On the ground, and that ball is still going, and finally falling on it for Cloudland is Dylan Shell.
Say we'll get a big dose of power football from the Cloudland Highlanders here on this drive. Try to work that clock.
2:54 left to go in the third quarter. Ball spotted at the 22-yard line. Peppers back under center. Pitch goes out to Struder, and Struder is brought down at the 25. So pickup of 3 will bring up 2nd and 7. Clock continues to run. 2.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter now. And Struder is hobbling a little bit as he comes off the field. So that's big. Want to keep an eye on that. Maverick Simmerly will replace him, and Birchfield is in the game.
Wow.
Birchfield with so much power gets up to the 34-yard line, and that'll be enough to move the sticks.
Very hard runner for the Cloudland Highlanders as he's racked up how many yards on a year, Aaron? 2,000 rushing yards. I mean, it's just unheard of. One of the better running backs in East Tennessee, and you can tell how reliant this Cloudland football team is on him. 0 passing yards, 0 passing attempts.
And this time Simmerly gets the carry up to the 35. Maybe picks up half a yard.
Just a quick little counter isolation play there. Coalfield did a really good job of defending that play. Second
So it's
and
Struder
9.
out of the game. Normally, Struder and Birchfield rotate in and out every other play, but Birchfield has been out there now for 3 straight plays because Struder had to hobble off the field. And now it's Birchfield from the Wildcat position, and Birchfield is brought down at the 40. So a pickup of about 5 will make it 3rd and 4. That first tackler is getting hands on him around the line of scrimmage almost every time he touches the ball, but he's getting through that.
Not been the best tackling here for Coalfield tonight. A testament to that is just some really good running backs of Cloudland. Struder back in for Cloudland.
Yep, so here's Struder. Struder is brought down at the 44-yard line, and that is just enough for a first down.
Very tough runner Struder is of Cloudland.
Cloudland does that a lot, just picks up just enough for the first down.
Big first down for the Cloudland Highlanders.
And that might have been the last play of the third quarter, as we are now down to 5 seconds left to go. And it will be. Cloudland's going to let it run out. They're happy. The score is tied 14-14, and they had the ball driving. And we will have 1 quarter remaining in your OEB Law Game of the Week. So be sure to support Big Orange Home Inspections and thank them for supporting us tonight, allowing us to be here. That is Mike Smith, fully licensed and insured. You can give him a call at 865-789-0672, or you can also go to bigorangeinspections.com. Tonight's game brought to you by MBM Heating and Air, locally owned and operated by Karen and Reagan Williams, proud supporters of Morgan County Schools. They offer 100% financing, and while supplies last, they've got scratch and dent units that can save you big money, and they still have a full 10-year factory warranty on them. Plus, they offer preventative maintenance. They can keep your heat and air running at peak performance. Call MBM Heating and Air for all your HVAC needs at 865-771-2620. As we get set to start this fourth quarter, Cloudland has Birchfield in that Wildcat set on 1st and 10. And Birchfield breaks it to the outside again, makes a man miss, and is drugged down by his ankles at the 32-yard line.
Same play that they've ran all night long with extreme success. They get to do a little shimmer inside to try to suck in that safety inside the hash just a little bit to where he can bounce it back outside, and he has done that all night long. I think I've seen a total of four plays run from this offense.
Caleb Struder now in the game. Runs it up the middle. Gets to the 29-yard line. That's a pickup of 3. We'll bring up 2nd and 7. Isaiah Sheldon loses a helmet. He'll have to be replaced.
Braden Burgess in on the tackle for Coalfield. Coalfield definitely a lot bigger than Cloudland, size-wise.
Birchfield.
That's
And Coalfield jumps again. That is the
penalty.
third
No,
defensive
fourth.
offsides.
Fourth if you count
Fourth.
kickoff.
Yeah.
You just can't have it. You can't have that this deep in the playoffs and expect to beat quality teams.
So after the 5-yard penalty, Cloudland's going to have a 2nd and looks like a 1. Birchfield back in there at that wildcat position. Takes the handoff, goes straight up the middle. And he's just slippery.
Great field position, field vision there. He just squawked by a Coalfield defender there and picked up some tough yardage. Not much effort out of the all-star running back for the Cloudland Highlanders.
That moves the chains. Cloudland has a 1st and 10 set up inside the red zone with 10:15 left to go in the game. And Caleb Struder is back into the game from that wildcat position. Struder fakes left, goes right, slips, and gets up too close to the 15-yard line. A pickup of about 3 will bring up 2nd and 7. I mean, this really is 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
It sure is. This is old school football at its finest. They ran about a total of 5 different plays out of this offensive set. Nothing special. Just hand the ball off and run the football.
Birchfield back in the game. Birchfield runs over left guard and gets, looks like inside the 10. And that'll bring up 3rd and inches. So here's Caleb Struder up the middle. He only had to get a few inches. He gets that, and so it'll be 1st and goal for Cloudland. Ball spotted at about the 7. Clock starting to run again. 8:40 left to go in this game. Cloudland threatening. Seth Birchfield back in the game in that wildcat formation. Starts up the
Ball's
middle,
on the
goes
ground.
left, and ball is free. Picked up by Mullins. Levi Mullins takes it. If he does not get tripped in the turf. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. There is a flag on the play, and that happened right in front of me. And let me tell you what happened. Cloudland's Caden Cordell knew that Mullins was end zone bound, so he found a Coalfield blocker and ran in front of him and stopped to create a block in the back.
Hey, I understand people at home watching that right now are jumping up and down, but what a heads-up play by number 58, Landon Johnson, the 5'6", 190-pound senior center for this Cloudland high school football team. Running down the field, recognizes, touchdown, what can I do to help my team out?
I saw that. That happened right in front of me. He looked for a Coalfield player.
Run right in front of him, slammed the brakes on, and got the penalty.
Yeah.
Great heads-up play by the center of this.
And I don't like it.
No,
it's gamesmanship a little bit.
Absolutely.
But
hey, there's rules for a reason.
There's rules for a reason.
Hey, it's a game. We got to play it.
Hey,
excellent heads-up play by the senior.
Very
defensive line.
Very smart.
Yes.
So Coalfield, instead of a touchdown, they take over at the 46-yard line. Quick pass goes out to Roberts.
Here he goes.
Or Gallion, in fact. Gallion gets it up to the Coalfield, looks like 37-yard line, and that's enough to move the chains again.
I'd love to see Coalfield try to speed the game up a little bit, take advantage of these defensive backs, getting a little heavy-footed here late in the fourth.
7:55 left to go in this game, clock running. Coalfield with a huge, huge turnover right there to get the ball with Cloudland inside
Should
the
be
10-yard
up
line.
21-14. if it wasn't for the heads-up play by the Cloudland defensive lineman.
1st and 10. Kanan Bowling goes in motion, and Bowling is dropped around the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Great play that time, individual effort by number 21 of Cloudland, Maverick Simmerly, 5'10", 205-pound defensive lineman. Coalfield taking her time.
And same play. It's a quick pass, goes out to Bowling, and Bowling again maybe gets to the line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 3rd, and I believe it'll bring up 3rd and 11.
Big 3rd down for the Yellow Jackets here. .625 left in this ball game.
Hines drops back. Pump fake.
Got him.
Got a man there. It's Gallion. And he overshoots his target, but there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, looked like defensive pass interference there. Holding.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest. Our view over here is not very good, so the viewers at home might be able to see better than us.
So it is a defensive hold. And that will be an automatic 1st down for Coalfield.
You know, that's not really a bad penalty for Cloudland because that's probably a touchdown saving penalty. 10 yards.
They've had one of those before tonight, haven't they?
Yeah, you ain't kidding. And, you know, Coalfield over there is chewing her cud thinking about that last one. So let's see if Coalfield can rebound from that and pick up another touchdown here.
That's going to spot it at the – no, I'm sorry. That is not an automatic 1st down. That was only a 10-yard penalty. We'll bring up 3rd and 2. Hines, handoff, Bowling. Bowling makes a man miss up the middle. He gets up to the 15-yard line. Definitely has enough for the 1st down. And Coalfield back into that red zone.
Great footwork that time by Bowling as Cloudland was sending the outside pressure heavy, and he just snuck by and picked up a great gain.
Caleb Sluder got the tackle there. They're going to give him the 16. 1st and 10 Coalfield. Clock continues to run. 5:45 left to go in the game.
One-on-one at the top of your screen.
Hines.
There it
Takes
is.
the handoff to Lau. Quick slant over the middle. Goes to Gallion. Gallion breaks free. Gets to the end zone. Touchdown, Coalfield. But there's a flag on the play.
Roughing the passer.
And that
is a touchdown.
They just gave the signal. It's roughing the passer on Cloudland, so the touchdown will stand. Personal foul, roughing the passer on Cloudland, and that will be assessed on the kickoff. Touchdown stand. So Luke Treese comes in for an important extra point.
Luke Treese, the all-star baseball player. And to be a pitcher or play baseball, you've got to have calm nerves. Can't let things bother you.
Snap, set, kick.
And that's why he's a kicker.
Coalfield has their first lead of the game. The Yellow Jackets lead 21-14 with 5.5 minutes left to go in the game here at Cloudland. Big thank you to R&R Lumber Company of Coalfield for helping us with this broadcast. Call 865-435-1286 for your lumber needs. They have great mulch for sale by the truckload as well, located at 147 R&R Sawmill Road off Fairview Road. Also, thank you, Patriot Home Care, quality care close to home. Call 865-235-7007 Offices in Oak Ridge, Harriman, and Wartburg. Trust Patriot Home Care, a locally owned and operated home health care agency. They're committed to providing compassionate, quality-focused care customized around your specific needs while coordinating and communicating with family and physicians. Visit patriothomecare.com for more information about their services. Also, big thank you, Sexton Automotive, providing us for transportation to get up here to Cloudland. Had a big, roomy Dodge van. Sexton Automotive, you can visit for top-quality pre-owned vehicles, rentals, service, a body shop, and more. Sexton Automotive of Oak Ridge, located at 799 Oak Ridge Turnpike in Oak Ridge. Call 865-272-3223. So after the penalty, Hicks will kick this one off from the 45-yard line. And this one is a touchback deep into the end zone. So Cloudland will take over at the 20. So Cloudland's drives have been long and drawn out. So the clock, which has been their friend for the entire game, all of a sudden with 5.5 minutes left, it's not so much anymore.
Yeah.
They've got to go 80 yards, and they don't throw the football.
No, they're not really designed for this type of situation. But one thing that we can guarantee is they're going to run this football with some passion. So let's see if Coalfield has a response, knowing what the Cloudland offense is going to do. Great job that time by the defensive backs of Coalfield, rallying to the football and preventing a pretty good run there.
No gain on the play for Seth Birchfield.
Kanan Bowling, the senior, in on the tackle.
So now Caleb Struder in the game. He's going to run to the left, and Struder gets up to about the 26-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Tackle made by number 60, Bryson Ridge. Coalfield at that defensive line position, able to scrape across the field and make a tackle. Big.
So now you notice Cloudland has kind of put a little bit more pep in their step. They're getting to the line a lot faster. As here is Birchfield, tries to get to the outside, makes a good cut, and gets up to the 32-yard line. That's enough to move the chains.
What a block that time by number 8 of Cloudland. We don't even have his number down here.
4:20 left to go in the game. Struder back in. Struder gets the handoff, goes to the right, cannot get to the outside, is brought down about the 35-yard line. That's a pickup of about 4 or 5. Bring up 2nd and 5. So now Cloudland again quickly back up to the line. Struder is out. Birchfield is in. Birchfield takes the carry up the middle, slips and falls. Short of the 40-yard line, so that'll bring up 3rd and about 2. Clock still running, 3.5 minutes left to go in this game now. Coalfield leads it 21-14.
Struder back in the game at the quarterback position, a wildcat formation.
And here is Struder. And Struder's going to be stopped behind the line. That is huge. That makes it 4th and about 2. And Cloudland's in a position now, they're going to have to go for this. If Coalfield can stop them on this 4th down, then the Yellow Jackets can pick up a couple first downs and feel a lot better about their prospects of winning this football
Coalfield
game.
has got to watch the football in this situation. They've been sloppy with jumping off sides all night. Don't give them something cheap.
Seth Birchfield tries to get outside, does, gets to the 45 and is down to the 49-yard line. Cloudland has another first down. Clock temporarily stops with 2:38 left to go in the game. Struder back in the game now. Struder quickly picks it up, and he's drugged down from behind by Landon Lau. Struder out, Birchfield in. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10, clock continues to run. 2:10 left to go in the game.
Good tackle, no gain that time by Lau.
Birchfield gets the snap, runs up the middle. Huge gain on the play, still driving those legs. Gets to the 40-yard line. That's going to be enough to move the sticks again.
Rumbling and stumbling and carried about 3 Coalfield defenders with him. He is one hard guy to bring down.
Struder back in the game. 1:40 left to go. Struder runs to the left. And Sluter's brought down at the 35-yard line, and now Cloudland is going to take a timeout with 90 seconds left in this game. So Cloudland has about a 2nd and 4, and the Highlanders are 34 yards away from pay dirt. And remember, Cloudland doesn't kick extra points, so if they do score, there's not going to be a lot of time left, and they're going to go for 2. And so this game could come down to a 2-point conversion.
Yes, it very well could, which is an exciting way to end this ball game, as Coalfield has got to hang on here to keep them out of that end zone to save this ball game.
What a football game we've had tonight.
Offensive coordinator for Cloudland's over here making sure his troops are rallied and everybody's on the same page. Coalfield doing the same defensively on their sideline.
What a football game.
If I'm assuming anything, I would imagine they're going to run right behind big number 74, the left tackle.
So Sluter's back in the game, and Sluter will run up the middle. Gets up to about the 29-yard line. That will move the sticks again.
.120 left in this ball game.
Birchfield back into the game. Birchfield's going to drop back to pass, and he's got a man there, and that pass is
intercepted.
Is it?
Coalfield football.
Is it?
Oh.
No. That pass is complete. It goes to Gage McKinney.
Ooh.
If it is a jump ball,
it goes to the offense, a tie.
It goes to the offense, always.
Dang, what a break for Coalfield.
50 seconds left. Here's the handoff, goes to Struder. Struder up the middle, and he's stopped inside the 5-yard line at around
Clock
the 2.
still running, 45 seconds left.
Sluter is out. Birchfield is in.
We got a player down on the field for Coalfield. We'll stop the clock.
Wow, what a game. The first pass attempt of the night for Cloudland was by Seth Birchfield.
36 seconds left in this ball game. In this big-time playoff matchup between the Coalfield Yellow Jackets and the Cloudland Highlanders. As we have a player down on the field.
Cloudland started this drive with 5:30 left to go in the game at the Coalfield 20-yard line. The man down was Landon Gallion. He's back up. So Coalfield's defense will come back onto the field.
Cloudland fans are going crazy.
Clock starts back up. 34 seconds to go. Seth Birchfield behind the line of scrimmage, and Coalfield jumps off sides.
5th offsides penalty on the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. They get the timeout right before that. Nope.
That is half the distance to the goal. And that'll spot it inside the 2. So again, Birchfield in the game. Birchfield takes the snap, goes up the middle. And Coalfield says he's stopped.
Still short. 18 seconds left on the game.
And the clock is stopped. They're going to try to figure out where to place the football. They're placing it right outside the goal line. Cloudland hurries up to the line of scrimmage.
16, 15 seconds.
And Cloudland jumps off sides. Wow.
11 seconds left, and Cloudland moves, backs them up.
Cloudland they needed to go inches. They needed to literally go inches. And the Highlanders jump off sides, and they're backed up 5 yards. This is second and goal from the 5-yard line, and the clock will stop right now. 11 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds.
Timeout,
and now we have a timeout. Coalfield wants to take a timeout with 7 seconds left in this game. Now, are you surprised?
Not really. Coach Napier's wanting to get his guys on the sideline to figure out, make sure that everybody's on the same page with what that formation was showing of the offense. So it's a pretty smart timeout. You don't want to see a guy make a mistake and see an easy touchdown there. So let's see what happens. Let's see if it pays off for him. 7 seconds left on the clock on Coalfield's 5-yard line, 6-yard line.
What a football game we have. Coalfield essentially needs one stop right here, and they have won this football game. And Cloudland with a costly penalty. They literally had to go inches to get into the end zone, and instead now they have to go 5 yards. Seth Birchfield, Mr. Football quarterfinalist in that Wildcat position. Coalfield runs. Birchfield tries to get outside. He does. Touchdown, Cloudland. 1.4 seconds left.
Just got around the outside of the Coalfield defense enough to get a touchdown. And Cloudland is trying to call a timeout to talk about this 2-point conversion to tie this ball game.
What a football game, as Cloudland does take their final timeout of this game, 1 point away, but they're not going to kick an extra point. They're going to go for 2. So we brought up the scenario.
Yep.
This could very well come down to a 2-point conversion, and it has. Wow.
You're about to see the ball game right here, folks. Don't go anywhere. 2-point conversion play out of a run-heavy offense who is basically 95% reliant on number 4 and number 35. Who gets the football here? I think you're going to see number 4 with the football in his hands.
This right here is your football game.
This is it.
This is it.
Hey.
So they have chosen, Cloudland has chosen to go from the left hash mark. They've got to go 3 yards.
They've run left behind the left tackle, left guard there a lot. Let's see what they do tonight.
Seth Birchfield tries to draw Coalfield off sides, does not. Birchfield up the middle into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good. Cloudland has taken the lead, 22-21, with 1.4 seconds left to go in this game. What a football game.
Cloudland coaches have jumped out of the press box over the front onto the football field to celebrate with their team. Crazy.
Now, Cloudland's going to have to kick this football off.
To some dangerous football players at Coalfield.
So if you're Coalfield, what you backyard this thing? You Music City Miracle?
Yeah, you're relying on a kickoff return here. I think that's your best opportunity of scoring a touchdown with 1 second left. Come up with something creative here. Get your best players offensively to catch the ball and try to get a big return here. 1 second left. You can't let this ball hit the ground if you're Coalfield. It's got to be caught in air as he's gaining ground forward. Catch that ball at full speed, and he has a pretty good chance. But I'm imagining Cloudland, who hasn't kicked off deep at all tonight, is going to kick another short roller.
Now, Coalfield's average starting position off of kickoffs has been about the 40-yard line. 1.2 seconds remaining. This very well could be the last play of the game. Here's the kickoff. It is picked up. And that's it. That's it. Coalfield has lost this football game, and Cloudland will host a semifinals game next week here on Roan Mountain. This is the first time that Cloudland has defeated Coalfield since 2001. And it breaks a 9-game winning streak, or I should say a losing streak, to this Coalfield Yellow Jacket team. And this magical season for Coalfield comes to a close in the quarterfinals.
Big game this time for the Cloudland Highlanders. Fought hard, didn't do anything special or difficult tonight, just did what they did, came away with a big win over a very talented Coalfield Yellow Jacket football team.
I don't know what else is going on around the state of Tennessee right now, but I can tell you, ain't nobody had a better game than we had tonight.
Nope.
This was classic football. Each half took less than an hour. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. This game was over in under 2 hours.
What a win here for this community.
Huge.
Roan Mountain up here in far east Tennessee. Great football program up here in single A. Great matchup between the Coalfield Yellow Jackets and the Cloudland Highlanders. Coalfield has nothing to hang their head low about. Great season for the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. Even brighter future moving forward.
Yeah, and this was a great first season.
Cloudland with the fireworks show here.
Oh, yeah. This was a great first season for first-year head coach Benson Napier as well.
Yeah, you got to speak on the job that Coach Napier's done here in his first year as a head high school football coach, which is, very challenging in itself. But not only that, the person that he replaced was a legend. So it was a heck of a job that he's done with this Coalfield program. And I tell you right now, there's nobody better in our area to play for than Benson Napier. If you're a young high school football player, a young high school or a middle school football player, he's one of the better coaches in our area. So that speaks to itself.
So let's talk about what Coalfield loses. Landon Lau is a senior on this team. Kanan Bowling is a senior on this football team. Hayden Hicks, Levi Mullins, Landon Gallion, Isaiah Sheldon, Nick Cagley, and Bryson Ridge. Those are some big players that you're losing, but you're bringing back a lot of talent next year as well.
Yeah, losing a lot of talented seniors, 8 total, who was, instrumental in this Coalfield football program over the last 4 or 5 years. Most of them played as 8th graders. Every single one of them is going out of here as a winner. One in middle school, elementary school, all the way up to high school. And competed here tonight. So it's a great Coalfield football program. Good year for the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. Not the way they wanted to finish, not the way that I anticipated them finishing, but still good effort here in the playoffs in a tough situation.
And so Cloudland will have a home game for the semifinals, one game away from a state championship, and they will play either South Pittsburgh or Gordonsville. We can tell you that game is close to halftime, and South Pittsburgh leads over Gordonsville by a score of 28-14. So I tell you what, this might be the best game I have ever covered. The fact that it came down to Cloudland scoring with 1.2 seconds left, and they had to do it. They had to overcome that 5-yard penalty right there at the goal line, which I thought, like, if you lose the game after that, then I feel really bad for you.
This is a different bunch of football players up here that, we noticed right when Coalfield was getting off the bus that almost all the Cloudland football players were standing outside in cowboy boots and cut-off shirts and mullets and watching the Coalfield football players walk by them, and just, it is pretty intimidating situation they got going on up here. And these kids that they've got fight hard, and they believe in their capabilities and their coaches.
Yeah.
Not the most talented team that you'll see.
No.
Coalfield has beat more talented teams this year than what you've seen here tonight.
Yeah,
just a great overall effort. Very disciplined bunch, very limited penalties, coached well, and they ran about 5 offensive plays all night. 5. One pass, an incomplete pass.
I will say, I can see why Seth Birchfield is a semifinalist for Mr. Football.
Yeah, not the the speedster, the most talented running back that you'll see, but he is Mr. Cloudland High School football. He is who will carry them on into the playoffs next week. He has been instrumental to this team, and it's obvious. Every play he's rotating in and out, and he won the ball game for him here tonight.
Yeah, he certainly did. So, like to say once again before we get off the air, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who helped us out to be here, to be able to cover this game, especially for the people at home who weren't able to make the trip up to Cloudland. And, of course, want to say a big thank you to Judy and Charles Slack, Scott Jackson, Jim Rivers, David Rivers, as well as Joe and Judy Jones, Tom Kilby Sr., Alan West, and Carl Reeves.
Guys, I just got to speak on this real quick. What a community that surrounded this football team and got and funded and donated to send a TV station to cover them 3.5 hours away from home. That is an amazing community there that we have in Morgan and Roan and Anderson County.
Yeah, I would agree. So a quick shout out to also MBM Heating and Air, R&R Lumber, Patriot Home Care, Sexton Automotive, who provided our transportation for tonight, John Boy's Barbecue, which sent us with food. My goodness, John Boy's Barbecue loaded us up. And just a reminder, they're going to stop taking orders tomorrow on smoked turkey, hams, and pork loins, so get your order into them tomorrow. Stephen Hensley with VFL, he's your VFL Realtor. Go to VFLRealtor.com if you're looking to buy a home. And I tell you, what a football game we had tonight between Coalfield and Cloudland. It is Cloudland coming away with the narrow 22-21 victory, and they needed a touchdown with 1.2 seconds left and a 2-point conversion to pull that off.
And they did just that. Very exciting ball game. The whole area came out to watch their team, support their team. It's a great atmosphere for high school football in East Tennessee here tonight in Cloudland. Long trip back home for Coalfield, over 3 hours. Nothing but a very successful season for them all year long. Not the way you wanted to end it, but nothing to hang their heads low about.
No, but I tell you what, something like this, ending a game in the quarterfinals when you weren't expected to lose, what that's going to do for the returning players is it's going to put a fire in that belly. And this summer, they're going to work really, really hard this summer. They're going to hit that weight room because they're going to remember this, and they're going to remember how this feels and how they don't want to go through this again next year.
Yeah, Coalfield's got about 28 players coming back next year, which is way more than Cloudland. So I'm expecting another great year of Coalfield High School football next year, maybe even better than this year.
Yeah,
give Benson Napier a whole nother year to really just learn how to be a head football coach.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. I guarantee you he has learned more this year, trial under fire, that you can imagine. So the best is yet to come for this Coalfield football team and the Coalfield coaching staff.
So I believe that about do it for us from Cloudland. And that will do it for us for this football season. Enjoyed it so much being able to carry these games and to bring them to everyone online and on BBB TV Channel 12 as well. Thank you so much, OEB Law, Tim Elrod, for being with us all season long as well. And thank you, Brad Jones, for hiring us and allowing us to do this. And thank you to the crew, BBB TV Channel 12, Chandler Jones all season long. And that's about it. Thanks to everybody. I've enjoyed it so much. For my good buddy here. What do you say?
Basketball game. Brad Jones says, hey, Tuesday night basketball game. If you're out there, listening, get to Midway. Watch Brad Jones as his first head high school coaching job at the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. Takes on the Midway Green Wave Tuesday at Midway.
What are you doing, Brad? We don't do shameless plugs around here. Come on. Oh, no. But, yeah, for Brad Jones, thank you very much. And my good buddy here, James Hoot Gibson, I am Aaron Harvey. Good night, folks.